こんにちは、ハリケーンフットボールです。今回の教材はリーズユナイテッドの田中碧に関する動画です。リーズユナイテッドは橋岡大樹が所属するルートンタウンと対戦し、3対0の快勝でした。田中碧もプレイヤーオブザマッチを獲得し、相変わらず活躍し続けています。今回は、もうおなじみですが、ワンリーズファンチャンネルから、マッチレビューの動画です。相変わらず田中碧への賞賛はやまず、ロスウェルやアンパドなど他のミッドフィルダー陣との比較や組み合わせの話や、田中碧の市場価値の話、さらにプレミアに昇格した場合を見据えた話などまで広がっています。実際にどのように話しているのか、早速チェックしてみましょ
う。When it comes to the statistics, Tanaka was successful passes 114 just behind Pascal Struijk. Tanaka's touches, he was on 135, which is, yeah, I mean, look, let's get on him. Let's start gushing about him. The boy is a joke. The boy is outrageous. His balance, his decision making, his football brain. This is what you guys used to go on about, you know, when I used to go on about the football brain, and you'd see it in certain players, and the engine and the IQ of a football team is in that central midfield spot. I'm so happy he's in that central midfield spot and he's not a right back, or he's not some sort of like a position of which isn't as important as a central midfielder. He dictates, he can slow the game down. The tempo is orchestrated by that little Japanese magician. He is so good. He is so good. And I think his value right now is 15, 20 million already. Genuinely. Brought him in for 3.4 mil. He's worth 20 million already. Or 15 to 20 million. He's that good. He's too good for this level. I cannot believe there was ever a circumstance of which he will be playing Bundesliga 2 level. This guy's consistent. Aragorn says, you take Edwards over far because you want to be fighting relegation then. Yeah. I don't, you're not getting many fans in here, Chris lad. Loving the watch-alongs, Connor. Great technical knowledge and commentary. Love the channel, mate. Thank you so much, Simon. Most of them are okay when they're on it. Consistency is key for all of them. I think you're right, mate. And I think, as I've said, the beautiful thing about what we're now getting is, the funny thing is, we put a performance in like that with Byram and Solomon on that left-hand side, and Ramazani has come on for about 8 minutes and has already got me more excited than my girlfriend gets me. Do you know what I mean? This is what's happening right now with Ramazani, with me. I just love that man so much, and I just think he's just. I said at the start of the watch along that him and Tanaka, if Ramazani stays fit, him and Tanaka are going to be the best players in this division. I don't care if Vinny Sousa's there. I don't care if Callum O'Hare's there. I couldn't care less if, you know, Raksaki's there, whatever, or, you know, the Sunderland boys. I know they've got a fair few decent players, Mundell or whatever, or Koleosho. I'm telling you, Ramazani and Tanaka are going to be the best players in this division by the end of the season if Ramazani stays fit. Ramazani comes straight in. And Firpo comes straight in as an attacking left back. And that's with what we've just seen tonight against a promotion contender. I think Luton are going to be in the playoffs. I think there's an argument they'll win the playoffs. I think they've got a good enough squad. I also think you're going to get, as I've just mentioned, a Stevie Cooper, another manager coming in and heightening their level. I think that's going to happen. They're 8 points off the playoffs. They're going to end up there. And as I've said previously, we're going to look back at this and think that's a proper win there. Big thing as well, what we've not touched on, people, clean sheet. Now that performance was that good. I'm going to go to bed tonight, and I'm not sure I will be able to keep a clean sheet. But Leeds United, smuts, unsubscribe, disgraceful, absolute smut, and I'm sorry. There's children watching this, disgraceful. But listen, it's a clean sheet, and it was unequivocally needed after conceding 3 goals against the Swansea City side that barely score any goals. Leeds have come back. We've responded to a performance of which we've won the game at Swansea. But I have to say, I'm not happy. I wasn't happy with that performance at Swansea. I think Leeds were too open. I think our standards were lower, and we let them get into the game too much. Leeds controlled that game. We bullied Luton in every department tonight. They tried to physically impose themselves on set pieces. They tried to physically impose themselves in the individual duels. They brought on 150 subs at the end. Nothing changed. The game was in Leeds' hand. The playing style was very good. The control aspect was excellent. And this is the whole thing, everybody. This is the whole thing. And what I want you guys to listen to, and I'm sure you know anyway, the beautiful thing about all of this is that Leeds United have 2 midfielders in Rothwell and Tanaka, and our starting 2 midfielders are injured. They're injured. We have Ampadu to come back. We have Ramazani to start games. I'm going to be gutted. I'm going to be gutted when Joe Rothwell leaves this team. And let me point to a certain area of which Leeds scored from tonight, a set piece. Joe Rothwell's set pieces are I think, as a Leeds United fan who's watched us in the Championship, I'm 31 years of age. I can't remember balls in being that good by any set piece taker. I think his balls into the box from free kicks, he put a flat line one on the penalty spot. Stroud just had to get a touch and it was in. They are quick. They've got whip on them. They've got height on them. It can be front post. It can be near post. The trajectory of them is perfect for any sort of header. Joe Rodon, if you want to turn up for a corner at any point, mate, that'd be fantastic. But Joe Rothwell is staggeringly good from set pieces. Now, that is something that Ampadu isn't that great at. But Ampadu has levels to his game. We all know that. The Ampadu-Tanaka combination is going to be euphoric. But do not sleep on Joe Rothwell and what he's done. Because I'm expecting Ampadu to be back probably in the next 6 to 8 weeks, to be honest with you. And it's going to be really, really upsetting to me to see Rothwell go out of this side. And tonight was another example of how good he is. You give him time, which I don't think Southampton did. The only criticism I'd have towards him is he got 4 goals in 16 for Southampton. Joe, I want to see you scoring for Leeds United, mate. I need to see you contributing. But it's a very different role to what he had at Southampton, to what he now has at Leeds United. At points, he'd be playing in an attacking midfield. He'd be playing in the number 10 for Southampton when he'd be coming onto the field. He doesn't do that for Leeds United. He's a base sitter. But he's running with the ball, his levels, his consistency, and I think it's always overshadowed by this little genius. But Joe Rothwell has coped with probably being the 4th choice midfielder, according to a lot of Leeds fans. I'm so happy, I have to say, and I stuck with him. I stuck with him from the start. Said he was a better player. Said it from day one than Gruev. Said he was a better player, better all-rounder. And the fact that we probably have now Ampadu, Rothwell and Tanaka fighting for that spot is only going to increase Ampadu's levels, because Ampadu's going to think, shit, this boy's good. And he does, let's be honest, he doesn't deserve to be dropped. He shouldn't be dropped because his levels are so good. His ratings are so good. His percentages are so good. When do you ever see Joe Rothwell losing the ball? Doesn't. And how many times have you seen, I remember at the start when everybody would tell you, or maybe you were one of them saying it, oh, Gruev plays long balls. Ampadu plays loads of long balls. No, they didn't. And these two being together in Tanaka and Rothwell has shown you that they didn't, because these two play long balls. These two activate the front line to go forward, which gets Leeds up the pitch, gets Leeds winning the second balls or the first balls. These two are not only defensive players, of which they have the same numbers, the same output, by the way, as Gruev and Ampadu, but going forward, they have greater numbers. They have greater chance creation. If you actually look at Leeds United tonight, Aronson is almost a shadow figure to Tanaka and Rothwell. Tanaka and Rothwell are actually a lot of the ones creating the chances, popping the ball over the top, popping the ball just in the side for the winger. These two are so good together, and they've got a proper partnership. So for all those who are saying Ampadu immediately comes back in, I actually get narked off by that. I get narked off by seeing stuff that Brownhill's an upgrade on Rothwell. What a load of bollocks that is. Why is he an upgrade on Rothwell? I like Brownhill. I wanted Leeds to go and get Brownhill a number of times as depth, or just being an industrious player in there. Is he better than Rothwell? No. And I just think that there's a lot of disrespect on this guy's name. A lot of disrespect on this guy's name. He's been phenomenal for Leeds United. And yeah, again, another top performance for him tonight. Chris has said Rothwell is as good as Ampadu, but people won't admit it. Tanaka is on another level. Our squad depth is lovely. It is, mate. It is. Back of the net. When is Brownie coming on? You tell me, mate. You tell me. They were better tonight, Connor, but have not always been good. I tell you what, Mark, if you're on about Tanaka and Rothwell, mate, I don't know what perform. Look, Swansea, maybe they weren't great, but here's a question. When have we lost the midfield battle when those two have been in there? Let me know in the comment section. If you disagree, which is fine, football's subjective, let me know when they've lost the midfield battle. That's what I'm interested to know, because I can't remember. Swansea, did they lose the midfield battle? I don't think they did. even though Leeds were quite poor. But I think ultimately we ran the game. We were just quite poor in different phases and lacked a bit of concentration. Did we lose the midfield battle? I don't think so. I think every single game is dictated by Tanaka and Rothwell, and that is a huge, huge tick point. Leeds 10 clean sheets out of 17. Great stuff, mate. Great stuff. Injury suspensions, players inconsistent, and Farquhar's as top. He does, mate. I disagree. I think Luton have overperformed in their recent seasons, but they will be tougher at their place. Stephen, there's an argument back there. Connor, do we need another keeper? Still, we do, mate. We do. I struggle to see how Gruev starts now when he's fit. I think Rothwell could play the 10. Gruev's not even. And with the greatest of respect, he's I don't think he should be in contention anymore. Rothwell's not our player, and this has not been too harsh on Gruev. But Gruev, as I mentioned, is a very limited football player. I didn't mind Gruev, but he also used to wind me up more than anything, because it was very easy for Gruev to get through a game, in my opinion. It was safety on, handbrake on, pass the ball back to Rodon, and Stroud can occasionally play a long ball, of which the fan base used to absolutely lap up and say he used to do it every single game, when the stats would say that he never would do that every single game. I don't mind Gruev, but he is the fourth when it comes to ability out of our midfield. But it's a positive thing. That's a positive thing. Fantastic performance from the boys tonight. Agree, mate. If we're smart, we should pick a team with a view to how the other team plays. Definitely. Helvetti says, I think we need level heads. We want to get out of this division, but we don't want to spunk our money on medium level Premier League players. And that's the thing, mate. That's the thing. We need to be looking as well at the fact that Leeds United need to be looking at that Premier League venture, don't they? They need to be looking not only at what's going on right now, but if you're bringing a player in, you've got to be bringing a player in for the look ahead to the Premier League. That's why they brought Schmidt in. We saw Schmidt come on. We saw him get an assist, and we thought, oh, he's a good player. He's a good player. Gilavoggi, he will be thinking if he performs, he gets himself a Premier League contract, and he's there as depth. He'll be thinking that. Tanaka comes in with a view to the Premier League, of course. I guess the question is, would Tanaka and Rothwell would they have even come in if Gruev and Ampadu wouldn't have got injured? That's the question, because we know Farke liked that consolidation as a midfield base. Oh my God, the Tanaka Zilla hoodie and merch. I need that in my life. Yeah, mate, go check it out. There's Tanaka stuff everywhere. It's fantastic, the merchandise we've linked up with. The thing is, like, I've done it with him as well. I've done it with Gav. We've designed it together, so it's well worth having a look, guys. Okay, so that's been 40 minutes of me waffling on. If you'd like to catch me tomorrow morning on another live, we will be live, and we'll be talking the rumours. We'll be talking about Leeds United's performance tonight, and we'll be reflecting on a few things as well. We might even do a 3 things tomorrow morning, everybody. If you'd like that, slap a like on the video. If you're here on the YouTube, thank you so much. Hope you've enjoyed, everybody, the performance of the season for Leeds United. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Check out the merch, link in the description below. We've got Patreon exclusive bits as well. We're heading on over there now. It's been an absolute pleasure, everybody. Leeds United 3, Luton 0. Wow, not bad, eh?
次は解説です。今回は動画も少し長かったので、解説も少しだけ多めになりました。今回は新しいボキャブラリーがほとんどでしたので、皆さん一緒に勉強していきましょう。それでは解説です。
Let's start gushing about him.
ガッシュは液体が勢いよく流れるまたは感情や称賛が溢れるように表現されることを意味します。液体の場合は、ほとばしるや吹き出すといった物理的な動きを指しますが、感情の場合は熱狂的に褒めるや大げさに語るといった比喩的な使い方が一般的です。特にポジティブな感情を強調しすぎるニュアンスが含まれることがあり、日本語では感情が溢れる、ベタ褒めするといった表現が適切です。
Let's start gushing about him. It was unequivocally needed.
アニクイボカリは疑いなく、明白にという意味の副詞で物事が完全に正しいと断言する際に使われます。主張や事実が一切の誤解や曖昧さを伴わないことを強調する表現です。フォーマルな文脈で多く用いられ、特にビジネスや政治、学術的な議論で品質し、日本語では間違いなく、明白に、疑いなくと訳されます。
It was unequivocally needed. They tried to physically oppose themselves in the individual duels.
インポーズは押し付ける、課す、影響を与えるという意味を持つ動詞で、義務や税金などを強制的に課す場合や、自分の意見や考えを他人に押し付ける場合に使われ、自分の権威や影響力を相手に示すことも表します。さらに、 ご迷惑でなければ、という控えめな依頼表現でも使われます。日本語では、課す、押し付ける、与える、などに訳されます。
They tried to physically oppose themselves in the individual duels. They tried to physically oppose themselves in the individual duels. Tanaka combination is going to be euphoric.
ユーフォリックは、この上なく幸福な、高揚した、という意味の形容詞で、極度の喜びや高揚感を感じる状態を表現します。例えば、成功や勝利の瞬間に感じる感情を指すことが多いです。また、音楽やスポーツ、夢の実現などで人々が興奮に包まれる状況にも使われます。日本語では、有頂天、極度に幸せ、とも訳されます。
Tanaka combination is going to be euphoric. Tanaka combination is going to be euphoric. But do not sleep on Joe Rothwell.
スリープオンはイディオムとして一晩考えるという意味でよく使われ、特に重要な決断をする前に時間を置くことを指します。スラングでは軽視するや見逃すという意味でも使われることがあります。文脈によって意味が異なるため注意が必要です。
But do not sleep on Joe Rothwell. But do not sleep on Joe Rothwell. See, and I think it's always overshadowed by this little genius.
オーバーシャドウは影を落とす、目立たなくさせるという意味の動詞です。物理的に影を作る場合と比喩的に他のものをかすませる場合に使われます。例えば、彼女の成功が兄の業績に影を落としたといった文脈でよく使われます。また、暗い影を投げかけるというニュアンスで良い出来事を台無しにする意味も含まれ、主にネガティブな状況で使われることが多い表現です。
See, and I think it's always overshadowed by this little genius. See, and I think it's always overshadowed by this little genius. I get knocked off by seeing stuff.
be knocked off は抽象的なニュアンスから多くの意味を持つイディオムで、叩き落とされるや押しのけられるといった物理的なイメージを元にした表現です。もともとは叩くという意味のノックと離れるという意味のオフの組み合わせで、物理的な意味では物が叩かれて落ちることを指します。驚きやショックを受ける感情的な影響を表す場合は、驚くや動揺させられるという意味で使われることもあれば、打ち負かされるイメージから競争で敗北するという意味で使われることもあり、さらにアイデアやデザインが盗用されることを表すこともあります。ここではイラッとすると訳していますが、これは驚きや動揺の感情に軽い苛立ちのニュアンスを含めた意訳であり、ここでも驚かされる、動揺させられるという意味で使われています。
I get knocked off by seeing stuff. I get knocked off by seeing stuff. What a load of bollocks that is.
ボロックはイギリス英語のスラングで文脈に応じて多様な意味を持ちます。単数形では清掃を指す下品な表現で、複数形ボロックスではくだらないこと、失敗を意味することが一般的です。文脈によっては最高、素晴らしいといったポジティブなニュアンスで使われることもあれば、軽い怒りや苛立ちを表現する際にも用いられます。
What a load of bollocks that is. What a load of bollocks that is. Of which the fan base used to absolutely lap up and say.
ラップアップは直接的な意味では舌で舐め取るという意味で動物が舌で液体をすくい取るように飲む動作を指すフレーズです。比喩的には喜んで受け入れるや熱心に享受するという意味で人が賞賛や情報、注目を喜んで受け取る様子を表します。ポジティブなニュアンスが強く満足感や楽しさを強調する際によく使用され、文脈によっては夢中になる、楽しむとも訳されます。
Of which the fan base used to absolutely lap up and say. Of which the fan base used to absolutely lap up and say. Helvetti says, I think we need level heads.
レベルヘッズは冷静な判断力を持った人々や落ち着いた態度を意味する表現で、特に感情的になりやすい状況で理性的で冷静な行動をとることを指し、議論が白熱しても冷静さを保つことが重要だという文脈で使われます。困難な状況で感情に流されず冷静に対応するというニュアンスが含まれます。
Helvetti says, I think we need level heads. Helvetti says, I think we need level heads, but we don't want to spunk our money on me.
スパンクはイギリス英語やオーストラリア英語のスラングで主に勇気やガッツを意味します。また、精液を意味する下品なスラングとしても使われるため使い方には注意が必要です。気力やガッツを使い尽くすというイメージからお金や機会を無駄に浪費するという意味でも使われます。
But we don't want to spunk our money on me. We don't want to spunk our money on me. We know Farker like that consolidation as a midfield base.
コンソリデーションは統合、強化、安定化を意味する名詞で、企業の合併や負債の一本化など複数の要素をまとめて効率化する場合に使われます。システムや計画を強固にすることや、権力や地位を安定させる場面でも使われ、医学では肺の硬化や記憶の定着を指すこともあります。ビジネス、政治、科学など幅広い分野で使われる多目的な単語です。
We know Farker like that consolidation as a midfield base. We know Farker like that consolidation as a midfield base. Oh my God, the Tanakazilla hoodie and merch.
マーチはマーチャンダイズの略でグッズや商品を意味します。主にアーティストやスポーツチーム、YouTuber がファン向けに販売する T シャツやステッカーなどのアイテムを指します。オンラインショップやイベント会場で見られることが多く、ファン文化の一部として親しまれています。新しいグッズが出るといったカジュアルな会話でもよく使われます。
Oh my God, the Tanakazilla hoodie and merch. Oh my God, the Tanakazilla hoodie and merch. So that's been 40 minutes of me waffling on.
ワッフルオンは、だらだらと長話をする。要点のない話を続ける。という意味のイディオムで、会話やスピーチで話題が定まらず、結論に至らない状況を指します。少し否定的なニュアンスがあり、無駄話をやめて本題には入れという意味を込めることが多く、カジュアルな日常会話でよく使われる表現です。
So that's been 40 minutes of me waffling on. So that's been 40 minutes of me waffling on. You've got Patreon exclusive bits as well.
パトゥレオンは、クリエイターやアーティストがファンであるパトロンから直接支援を受けることができるクラウドファンディング型のサブスクリプションプラットフォームです。パトゥレオンのイーオンは、非常に長い時間を意味するイーオンを含んでおり、長期間にわたりクリエイターと支援者の関係が続くことを象徴しています。厳密にはわかりませんが、日本のスーパーであるイオンも長期間続くニュアンスを持っていると想像できます。
We've got Patreon exclusive bits as well. We've got Patreon exclusive bits as well.
いかがでしたか？田中碧が称賛され続け、マンオブザマッチを取り続け、プレイヤーオブザイヤーの話題や、移籍の話題、市場価値の話や、プレミア昇格してからの話など、田中碧を中心にリーズユナイテッドファンの興奮が高まっていることが日に日にわかりますね。リーズはファンベースが大きいことから、YouTube でも多くの動画ありますので、皆さんも英語を勉強して、他の動画もたくさんチェックしてみてください。リーズはまた週末にもすぐ試合がありますので、田中碧の活躍が続くよう応援しましょう。本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。またすぐにお会いしましょう。